what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media, Newport Beach. This is Missin Curfew. Obes, the up dog, and Jay Swish is back, fella. Good to have you back, Jay Swish. Good to see you, buddy. How you been?
Good, boys. It's good to be back. Good to be getting the call back up over here at Missin Curfew to the National League. So all good. Opes. Dry January, though, on my part. I made it 11 days, 10 and a half, I think it was. I don't know if you get a medal for that. I don't know if you get the coin for being sober for that long. But you know what? I broke last Saturday, and honestly, I don't even know why I was going sober. I think I was just trying to fool myself, but it felt good to be back on the piss, man. It really did.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick January for the month to go sober, would you? I feel like January was a rockin' right into, the first was on a Tuesday, so just kibosh that, celebration. But I feel like it's just not the month.
I would go the shortest month if I did. I'd go February.
February, yeah. With the leap year.
I went 30 days without a cocktail. I did this stupid fucking some kind of no sugar or no artificial sugar, no drinking. I went 30 days, and what time of year was that? Was that in? I can't remember when it would have been. It would have been sometime just into the new year. I think it might have been a February or something or around then. But I went 30 days without a sip. It fucking sucked.
Yeah, I know. I feel like February might be good. You got all these holidays like Valentine's Day. Like you could just have an excuse to not get super pinned.
It doesn't matter what month it is. There's going to be times throughout the course of the 30 days that you're going to put yourself in a situation where you wish you could drink or you're used to drinking. There's no shortcut around it. Like you just have to suck it up and just take it on the chin. And it's tough. 30 days was long for me. I mean, when I got to like 20, I was really edgy, Jay Swish. Like I was like, fuck, I just want a stiff fucking old fashioned or something here. And then, once I got to 25, I could see the finish line. But like from 10 to 20. Like where you just kind of tipped your hat and made the right decision was probably the hardest part for me.
Yeah, and especially if you actually want to do it, you basically have to turn your phone off and ignore everyone because everyone's trying to pull you out.
Well, single is impossible, yeah.
You know what I mean? And this past weekend we had the North Dakota faithful down here playing ASU. I mean, I didn't stand a fucking chance. I got to that Saturday after having a buddy in town for 3 days. He got in on Wednesday, and a classmate, one of my best friends, Uncle Rico, we call him, and he's just looking at me like, dude, can you just give me one? Like, stop being a bitch. So I finally was like, you know what? Pure pressure up. I got a sweat in on Saturday, and I was like, all right, let's blow the fucking roof off this thing. You know what the funniest thing, OB and Ups, is when you actually come off of that stint of a 10-dayer, you actually go the hardest you've gone in over a year, so it just offsets everything. Like, I probably had 30 drinks on Saturday. I was so drunk, be the heat daddy, we were smoking a doobie inside this bar. I looked at him like, dude, what are we doing right now? Like, we're acting like we're 18 years old. So everything that I saved up for the 10 days, acting like I was going to do this dry January, I ended up just giving it right back. And that's the way it goes, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you fall off, you might as well fall.
Let me ask you this. Like, that's a long time. Like, would you rather just go super hardcore with the fast, like the water fast for like 3-4 days, which is a struggle and mental grind, but it's only 4 days. And I feel like that gets a little reset. Or do you put yourself through the pain of like the weeks of the text messaging and the shit? It's like
it depends, I guess, what you're kind of going for, right? Like, were you just like, obviously the holiday season got you, you're boozing a lot. You're like, fuck, maybe I don't have to check myself into Malibu here. Was that what you were thinking, or you just was like, well, where was your headspace?
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, not like I have a problem or thought I had a problem over here. I mean, we're all professionals at the end of the day. I was just thinking, like, maybe try to do something that's challenging, a little bit hard, get a little bit of a cleanse, feel good about it. Yeah. But then I got to the 10th, and I was like, what am I doing this for? Like, I got nothing to prove here.
Yeah.
If you drink 1 or 2 nights this month versus, 5 to 7, who really cares? I think what Uppy is saying is a bigger challenge and something I actually want to try if we're getting to a holistic approach over here is doing that fast ups. I want to really try that, like a 3-dayer, and put myself through that mental grind.
There's so much out there. Like my Instagram, some days, if I look up something like nutritious, it'll start talking about the fasting and the saunas and all that stuff. But the fasting, it's legit. Like where it's like at 12 hours, your body does one thing. And then at 36 hours, it does another thing. And it's all kind of like the research proves that you got to be kind of hardcore. But once you get through the grind of it all, like the benefits are astronomical. And then you're done though. 4 days in, you're done. And you have the soup to get back at it, and then the drink, and you kind of reset and like crushed all the, the dead cells, getting rid of fat, like helping your brain, helping your organs. It's like a bunch of it, but it's a fucking grind. Like you get angry, you get fucking, but it's only 3-4 days and then you're done. Yeah. So anyway, that's, it's a different mental fuck, but.
When you're doing that, are you like lightheaded at all?
Yeah, you go through everything, but you sweat. I've done it twice where I had different things happen both times. The second time, it like cleansed me. It was after this summer where, I didn't work out much. I was a little out of shape, but I'd been drinking wine every day, eating whatever, and I was shitting. It was fucking gnarly. But and I was having saunas and stuff. So like the stuff coming out of your body is like disgusting. And then you're, there's nothing left in your system to like kill or eat. So it's eating all just dead fucking cells. Where the first time I did it, it was more like I had like hot flashes doing like, cause I'd never witnessed what, that pain sort of is. The second time it was my body just going, okay, here we go. Let's cleanse this. The first time I was mentally, it was a struggle, but
I think it's like what you're trying to get out of it too, right? Like, so for me, when I did it, I was trying to lose weight, obviously, right? So I did this 30-day of work, no booze, trying to eat clean, and I fucking lost like 4 pounds too after 30 days. So I was like choked about that. And then there's other people that they think they're cocktailing too much and they want to see if they can, have the willpower to do that. But like, are you an occasional drinker during the week? Or like for me, I don't drink much during the week. I have a few other vices that I have during the week, but I don't drink during the week. And then if you want to drink, as you've seen on a fellow tour, I'll fucking drink. But I know people that drink, 7 days a week that are professional drinkers that, that's just their lifestyle kind of thing. Is that how you are, Swish? Are you more of a Friday, Saturday night, let's get after type of guy?
No, I'm not a stay-at-home D per se where I'm just staying at home and drinking that way. If I'm going, Obes. I'm similar to you. So let's do it. It's going to be on the weekends. Maybe slide in the odd weekday if people are in town, whatever it is. Maybe it's a Thursday night, ladies' night, my favorite night of the week. But in terms of really getting after it, I'm going to do it on the weekend, and I'm not drinking for the taste, as bad as that might sound. I'm drinking to get pinned.
Yeah.
And if we're doing this, I'm using this to go full tilt, and that's just so be it, right? That's kind of just my game.
As a single guy, though, are you getting pinned or are you chasing, like, what's your end goal? To get laid or to just get absolutely pinned?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say both.
What one comes first? You're trying to get the quick kill in first?
Hand in hand.
Yeah, I think so. I forget. It's been so long.
It did for me anyway. It just came hand in hand for me. Although near the end of my singles little run, I was drinking myself and I was putting myself out of the game. Like, near the end there, like I look at myself at the end of the night being like, there's no chance.
But not when you were seeing the ball well. Then it was just a natural form of the flow. It was just good flow.
No, great flow.
The drink, it depends if it started with the wine or the vodkas right into the whiskey or whatever. Yeah. It was just still good flow.
I always thought those guys that went out to get laid sober, like maybe it's good because you keep your wits about you, but it's like that's kind of I never thought that was the right play. But I'm sure sober and you sit back, you probably see the play develop a little bit more. But the art of the
you got to be a real narcissist to go out there sober and try to chase pussy.
Right?
You got to it's got to just be a little vino, a little flow juice,
Yeah.
You got to be in flow state, boys. Yeah. You got to find that.
Little mushrooms.
Biggest thing is, don't leave the pocket.
Quick Cialis to start off. Yeah.
Yeah, a little seed bomb. How are you?
There's some nights I was just so mangled back. I'll never forget walking into this Beverly Hills, the SLS, man. I bumped into Loops, too.
That's where we always stationed. We stationed there, for sure.
I had a friend with me. I couldn't even walk. I was fucking hitting both sides of the wall. And I'm like, Loops, what's up, fella? And somehow, I don't know why, but it still worked out for me. But it was the opening of Colony back in the day.
Yeah. It's good spot.
And only really I remember is Jamie Foxx coming up there and being like, motherfucking Jamie Foxx. And then I just ended up at the SLS. That's all I really remember.
The Colony was where we put our Chanel did our 30th birthday, right? It was the old
14.
Yeah, they took it over Sundays for 14, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right there. That exact spot. Yeah. I don't remember. I just remember bumping into Loops in the SLS. But the good old days. Hey, up to the good old days, fella. But hey, Jay Swish, congratulations.
Yeah, it's huge, bud.
Hell of a run. 11
days.
Welcome back.
He's back.
It's good to have you back because we didn't want you gone for too long. It's good to have you back on the the Missin Curfew drinking wagon. Jay Swish, I wanted to give you an update. I called you and your boy Bobby Gucci out in pickleball, which is probably at the start of the season, right?
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm ready.
I hadn't played till last night. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Bring it on, brother. I mean, pick a date. I'm going to reach out to a good friend of mine here that has his own private court that he doesn't live here anymore. So we should be able to use that. And we'll just get after it, bud.
So are we going best of 3, 5, 7, 9? What are you thinking over there, Obes? Because I know the latter half, if we go 7, conditioning might be a thing.
No, I think we get him in for a couple days, and we do 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah.
I ain't playing for 2 days. I ain't playing for 2 days.
No, maybe the first day is a little feel out, and then we had the tournament on the second day.
Oh, you want a practice round?
Yeah, we size these fuckers up, and then then we find their weakness and we hit them where it hurts.
Well, listen, we usually play 3 out of 5, but I would say the boys at Big Canyon, Laner, and the boys that play on Tuesdays, the good players, they play 4 to 7. 4 to 7 would probably benefit you guys. My conditioning's not perfect.
Me neither.
But I don't move a whole lot out there, as you will notice. I just get to the net and I pretty much stay there, fella. So I mean, you can get me moving a bit, but what would you prefer, 3 out of 5 or 4 to 7? You want 4 to 7 is what you're telling me.
I'm good with either. I think we can go.
What do you want?
I think I know your game. You're going to get to the net, and I'm going to have to throw a little chin music on.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think you're going to be able to block and get to those nuggets, because you do have a good set of hands for a big fella. You do.
Good.
So I'm going to be working you. I'm going to be buzzing the tower a little bit, and Uppy probably plays behind you a little bit in terms of shagging.
I haven't played with Ups.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but we're hey, by the way, we're fucking good.
We're not that good.
Yeah, we are.
We played this pickleball tournament. This is years ago. This is probably before you had Beckham, and I'm like, Uppy, there's an extra spot. I was supposed to play with Gauthier, and Gauthier had something going on, and I'm like, Ups. And this is when me and Gauthier were playing pickleball like twice a week, pretty regularly. And I'm like, Ups, you want to take Gautier's spot in this tournament? He's like, fucking right. So I'm like, all right, just so you know, like, these guys are good.
Yeah, these nerds are good.
Typical Upshaw. He shows up about fucking 7 seconds before puck drop. We lose the first one 11-1. I'm like, I told you that these guys are fucking. And then the second one, we lost a heartbreaker. We lost, I want to say 11-9 and 2 in a barbecue. We were out. But that's our last time we've competed in a pickleball tournament.
Yeah, but I probably find their weakness, and I think the Heat Daddy, I'll be putting him in his back corner.
Yeah, well,
his backhand.
But pickleball is one of those games too. You play like old guys, like in racquetball, and there's so much strategy to it versus tennis, where you can kind of work a guy over to one side of the court and bury him on the other. Like pickleball, you got to be careful. Like I could see you guys being pretty good, so we're gonna have to maybe play down here a little bit. Again, I don't play a lot of pickle dick, play more of tennis, so I'm gonna have to get my hands going and to see how it is on that smaller court. And when we're ready, we're gonna have to tee this up, because we've been waiting. Let's at the bid over here, so I'm ready to play. We pick a date, we'll be there
next week.
Let's do it next week. Next week. I was gonna say go. after Montreal, after the Four Nations.
I was gonna say we gotta have this thing on pay-per-view. We gotta have a couple camera angles, get theatrics played into it. Like we gotta really build this match up, boys, because we gotta put a lot on the line.
We will, and then we obviously gotta have you and Bobby Gucci in studio. So we can either bring back the lounge set that we had for Heater, which is a nice set, or hopefully the new desk's done. 4 people desk. It's gonna be nice. You help me design it. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. But I would say, listen, you are younger. You got younger legs, but I would get out there and get some work in on the pickleball court, though. Like, have you never played?
I played a little bit. No,
okay.
I played in my day. I just hate the sound of it coming off for a little, slap dick pickleball paddle. But I'll get out there. I'll play.
Well, when I rip a couple off your chest, it's going to make a little bit of a different sound than just coming off that pickleball paddle. But hey,
I'm going right back at you, fella.
Can't wait. Content. AJ Swish, it's all about content. Boys, I was in the Palm Springs for the weekend. Shout out to my beautiful girl, Mac Miller. We had a great time. Margaritas, heavy weed pen, couple good dinners. It was beautiful weather out there. I just had a couple Uber drivers that, from the time two in particular, from the time they picked me up to the 10-minute drive to dinner, giving me the everything. You should go here. You should go there. You should do this. I recommend this. Go here. This. Do that. This is where you want to go. It's speakeasy. I never asked. Now, in their defense, my girl, Mac Miller, continued to pursue the conversation. Now, I got out and got a little bit of an argument with my girlfriend saying, A, you shouldn't be answering all those questions back, and B, he shouldn't be fucking talking, unless we engage the conversation. Both times they engaged it. She said that I'm a dick. Now, is that fair? Am I a dick? Or should these guys just shut the fuck up, put the music on, and answer questions when I ask them a question.
You're like, these anonymous driving cars are not coming fast enough here, so I don't have to listen to this fucking guy talk.
Exactly.
No, I think you got a point, man. You're not paying these guys for, the conversation. You're paying them to get you from A to B safely.
Yeah.
Without fucking staring at your girl's tits and talking to you about
Well, they were definitely doing that.
Some random, was it sports or what was he trying to like?
First of all, what a great hotel. I love that hotel. Oh, by the way, if you just go over here, there's a bar. And then, have you been to Mr. Lyons? Have you been to this place? Have you been to this? I recommend this. I'm like, first of all, are you paying for it, bro? Are you all these places that you're telling me to take my chick? Are you flipping the bill? Now you're putting me in a situation where you're telling me to take my girl to 10 fucking places.
He's trying to one-up you a bit.
You don't know what I'm dealing with on a budget here in fucking Palm Springs. Yeah, you pick me up at the Colony. You think maybe you got an idea. But maybe I don't want to do 10 things tonight. Maybe I want to go have dinner. And now you're putting shit in my girl's ear that now I got to be like, no, we're not doing that. So now you're putting me in a situation where I got to be like, no, we're going home. Have a hot tub and shut her down.
So you went on the aggressive saying, buddy, just fucking, you know what? I'm not going to Coachella.
I didn't say anything.
I'm just, I'm going to dinner. I'm going to go home and lay a beat down. And that's what's up.
Half a beat down. But what do you think about that, Jay Swiss? You're a man of the people's, a people's insider. Would you want your Uber driver giving you all these ideas if you don't ask him?
So my question to you, Obi, is were these Ubers that you were taking, were they a black car service?
Correct.
Were they the Uber Black option? They were. So you were driving a Tahoe, a Navigator, some sort of, a bigger vehicle that should be, as a black car, correct?
Correct. I had a black Tahoe and an Escalade for both these encounters I'm talking about.
Yeah, then they should be treating this strictly as a car service. They should shut the fuck up, and they should honestly act like a New York City cab driver. That is my belief on this. Now, listen, if you dip into the Uber Comfort or the X or the Pool when some jackass is driving around in a Subaru, a Chevy Malibu, something like that, those conversations and the typewriter jaw might come out because it's on a lower level and it's not as luxurious per se. But when you're driving in a black car, I think it should be strictly business. Point A to point B, should have some waters loaded up for you.
Yep.
Right on the, other side.
Some mints.
And mints, maybe, some gum, whatever you need, Domers. I don't know.
Who needs those?
It should be, unless you initiate the conversation.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like that guy. I get bored sometimes. I start asking
This guy was bored.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, so where are you from? I'm like, Orange County. Oh, he's like, you here for the fires? I'm like, no, luckily we're not, but we met a bunch of people. Oh, yeah, I live in Dana Point. Oh, by the way, there's this place and this place and that place. And me and my wife, my kids have been out here. We love going here. Did I ask you about?
It's different if you start the convo. Yeah, 100%.
I'm just trying to go to dinner. I got a buzz going. I want some tunes. I want some safe driving. And I want you to just, if I ask you a question, answer it to it. I don't need you to, I didn't get the Uber to get it. I got enough friends. I don't need any more friends. Right. And now my girl said, maybe you guys are more tech savvy. Is there an option on the phone that you can say, don't
give
talk?
Him a bad review, 100%. Talks too much.
Yeah, I didn't want to give him a bad review.
Yeah,
it's always the worst too when you see that guy and he's pulling up and right under his name it says "great for conversation." You're like, oh.
Well, yeah. See,
does it say that?
It says that pre-ride. So you could go new driver. Why?
Because this guy won't shut the fuck up.
His bio sucks.
Yeah, you know what you got to do? You got to shut the fuck up. Yeah. His bio. So you can read his bio.
You can read his bio. He's on his way. She's on his way. Whatever.
Gotcha.
You gotta read the game notes. But I would take it one step further, and I don't know if they have these. I'm sure they do in Palm Springs. It might be time to download the Waymo app and start just having that self-driver pick you up in the Jaguar Waymo.
Oh, they just happened in Vegas. They just got the Vegas. I read the other day.
They have these all around Scottsdale, boys, and they're great. You get in the Waymo, it drives itself, it drops you off from point A to point B. I mean, if you're coming back from Old Town, theoretically, you could probably get it done in there because there's no driver. So,
wow.
But then
a really good option, Obi. There's no conversation.
I used to get it done with the driver in the Uber car.
You're
fella, turn your head. Don't look back here, bud.
You're rolling the dice for that video to be up on some sort of porn website, though, right? If you start thumping in these anonymous cars. Yeah.
Speaking of,
sometimes you want that game film out of there, though. All press is good press.
I would prefer a human being to a certain extent, but like this guy in Palm Springs, he's making me think about doing the Waymo. I'm not gonna lie. These two guys that didn't shut the. And I get it, right? They were talking to my girl more than me, which is fine. Go ahead, but still, like, as Ari Gold says in Entourage, silence is fucking golden. Like, I just wanted to sit back there. I was drunk and half buzzed and just wanted to listen to some tunes, maybe some MMJ or something I wanted to put on. And the one guy wouldn't let me plug my phone in. He's like, "Oh, I don't have the right record or something. I was like, God.
See, I'm excited for the new world of anonymous drivers. I've said that word a bunch here, but where you put your Bluetooth on, you get extra leg room. There's no one fucking bothering you. There's no one judging
Extra
you.
leg room's nice.
Yeah. I actually don't know what the cars look like.
Do they look cool?
Are they good cars?
Yeah, it's a mid-sized SUV, fellas. You can get 3 there
Do
comfortably.
you get to face your like guest or your compatriot?
You're talking like he's asking if they have like London cabbies, right? Where you have 4.
Not yet, right? That's coming.
Not yet. Nah, not yet. These are just stock cars. Stock.
That'd be nice if you could face it.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey, how are you?
Someone's riding backwards, sideways.
How are you, sweetheart? Now, could you do like singles carpooling like that? Like, hey, after the bar,
Totally.
hey, you
Jump
want
in.
to share a whammy, and then we'll go home for a whammy. Is that what it's called? Whammy? No, what is it called?
It's Waymo, but we're onto something. They should have the limo seats in there, boys. I like that idea, Ups, where you kind of face it in. That's a nice little touch.
Way more cool. Way more legroom. Is that why they say that? Way more legroom. Anyway.
I don't know, but if you can buy stock in that, I think it's privately funded right now. Get some stock in that because that's
My stock's in one, bud. My stock's in one. Oh man. Anyways, to that guy in Palm Springs, less is more. As my coaches told me, Jay Swish, less is more. Speaking of coaches, as we roll on here with our intro, boys, before we dive into the world of the NHL here in hockey, Coach Prime, heavy rumors. He's going to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I heard Troy Aikman talking last night after the Vikings pissed away more of my hard-earned money that he doesn't think the Cowboys head coaching job is a desirable spot right now. Like, obviously, it's America's team. You're going to get lots of, press and attention. But listen, I think Coach Prime is exactly, if I'm Jerry Jones, by the way, I saw his cameo in Landmark and Landman. It was unbelievable. That's the best interview he's done. He should do his interviews like that. So I think Coach Prime, listen, I know CU and Ice Pick's not here. Ice Pick would be losing his mind because his dad, Todd Pickup, is a big contributor to CU football, and obviously they're heading in the right direction. But, man, I would love to see Coach Prime in Dallas, man. I think it's a great fit for Jerry Jones.
Absolutely. My phone call happened. I mean, it's all out there. Stephen A. Smith talking about it. All the boys talking about it. I think it's just good for football.
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas Cowboys,
Coach
Dion.
Prime.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I don't know. He just seems like the right fit for the personality that needs to come in there and the hype around it. And quite frankly, boys, America's team needs to get back to being somewhat competitive and having a little aura around them. And I don't know about you, Jay Swish, but he's the guy. It's not like going to coach the Packers or something. Like, you get the Cowboys. I mean, that's what the NFL wants, right?
100%. I mean, that is the guy for the job. The swagger, the moxie, just the big personality going into the big D. It makes sense on that front. But if you're Coach Prime, do you automatically just take that job, or do you kind of consider what Gerald Jones is going to do in terms of micromanage you? He might come into your house and tell you how to fuck your wife. It's just like the way he orchestrates his business. He is always going to have the last say. He's always going to be in on those big time decisions, whether it's roster, personnel, management. I don't know. Does that, is that a conflict of interest if you're Prime, or are you just prime time? You're going in there, you're going to do your thing, and you know what? You can kind of just block Jerry out and just do your thing.
No, it's a conversation I'm sure he's got to have with Jerry and Jerry's kids, whoever else. Jerry's got the whole. That was the one thing from Landman that he did say is why he bought the Cowboys, to work with his family. Which made me appreciate Jerry Jones a little bit more for that. But I think if you're Coach Prime, Swish, to get back to your point, you got to have those conversations. Like, listen, if I'm coming in here and coaching, this is how it's going to be. You're not going to be fucking, making lineup changes or telling me who to play. And you want to surround yourself with people that you succeed with. Like, I don't think I'll ever coach, but if I ever did coach, I would only do it with guys that I like. I would never want to put myself in a situation where, back when we played on a team that, you didn't like the coach or you didn't get around. Like, I would never want to coach with guys unless they were my kind of guys. Yeah. And then I would do it. So I think Coach Prime's going to bring in people he wants, and we'll say to Jerry, hey, Jerry, I respect your opinion, but if you're bringing me in, it's my kind of show,
Yeah, and what he just did in Colorado, a 4-8 season to a 9-4 season, a guy that, against all odds just said, like, I'm going to do this through personality, hard work, respect for my teammates. And I don't know, I had, who did I had on my CeeDee Lamb? I had CeeDee Lamb on the Dallas Cowboys. Besides him, that whole team was just a they were terrible this year.
Yeah,
You couldn't even watch them at home. They
almost played better under their backup, Spencer Rush or whatever his name is, or Cooper Rush. What's his name?
But they were blown out at home, and that never happens to Cowboys. Like you go into whatever they call that stadium, it's Juice, AT&T or whatever they would always have a good product at home, and they were getting blown out this year. Something needs to change, and I don't know. I think there's a respect factor amongst like everyone in the league that if Dion goes somewhere, it's going to be to coach his kids, and it's going to be to change like the avenue or whatever the projection of the team, and Dallas is the team.
Yeah, just think about how cool that must be for Coach Prime too. Like to sit back and be like, okay, the Dallas Cowboys want me.
Fuck yeah.
My kid's supposed to go, supposed to be the first quarterback taken or top 5 pick. Another one of his players, Travis Hunter, could go first overall. Like it's just like it's got to be a good feeling for him to be like, okay, well maybe if you want me, how are we going to get my son in here too? Now the Cowboys have Prescott, so I don't know if that's going to work out for him, but it just must be a cool situation for Coach Prime to sit back and be like, my kid's going to go maybe first overall. I could be the coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I mean, the guy, say what you want about him. He's got that touch day switch, and he can get things done. He's got God on his side. He's got God on his side, fella.
Yeah, I mean, he's prime time for a reason, fellas. I mean, he was unbelievable, obviously, at the quarterback position. He was an unbelievable baseball player. But I just go back to Jerry, like, just playing, like, getting coached by that guy. Like, he's a guy that's, like, landing his chopper on one of the practice fields and, like, all right, special teams, you got to get on the other side because Jerry's coming in mid-practice. It's just like, I think you really have to be on the same page as him and ultimately explain your vision to him. Obviously, he's going to always have the last say. But even a guy like Jimmy Johnson, he ran him out of town, and they weren't really necessarily, quote-unquote, good or okay with each other until, like, last year maybe. So, I don't know. I do think Dion is the guy for the job. He has that moxie that the Cowboys need and the good people of Dallas. So we'll see what happens, baby.
Hey, Jay Swiss, you're big on swag. Updog got good style. I mean, I could not wait to see Coach Prime on the sidelines with his Dallas Cowboys star on him and all his high tops, his shades, his chain. I mean, it would make me pull for the Cowboys.
So could you get Prescott? Like I read something where Prescott maybe get traded to Tennessee and they get the first pick.
Yeah,
but like, how much money they paying Prescott? $60 million a year.
They gave him 250 bananas, didn't they?
So is Tennessee willing to eat that for?
Prescott's getting 50 bananas a year, bud.
Yeah,
they gave him
5
years.
So Tennessee would pick up that deal. Would they feel like now's the time to get like a quarterback like that?
Well, the thing, listen, I'm no Mel Kiper here from ESPN. Mel Kiper, tough salad. But from what I've heard is this year's quarterbacks are like not great. Like that Shedeur Sanders is good, but if it was last year, he wouldn't even be fucking whatever top 5 pick.
100%.
So it's a weaker quarterback, So that might play a factor into it. Anyways, we're going to talk some football more, but Coach Prime, good luck to you. Last but not least here in a little intro, boys. Swish, I haven't talked to you about this. The TGL Golf League, Tiger's playing tonight. Tiger squad is Tiger, Kisner, Homa. That's a great squad. And
Team Jupiter, right?
Team Jupiter. I can't wait to see Kisner mic'd up. Homa, I hope although Max is almost funnier when it comes to posting than he is talking, but hopefully he comes out. And then the other squad is Rose, Morikawa, and Tringali. I can't wait to see Tiger out there striping it. Jay Swiss, let's start with you because I'll be talking about it last week. Did you like it? I mean, there's been mixed reviews. I think it has lots of potential. I think they got a multi-year deal with ESPN. It's not going anywhere. I think you fine-tune a couple things. I think this could be a hit. What do you think about it, fella?
So what exactly is it? Are they basically hitting on a simulator or are they playing outside?
Yeah, they're hitting on this huge, massive simulator. That's how big is it, Updog? It's
30 yards wide.
Yeah, it's massive.
Okay. And they play 18 holes, and how do they orchestrate the games?
15 holes. 15 holes. The front 9 is team play, alternate shot. And then the last, I guess that would be the last 5 holes or 6 holes on the back is singles. 1 hole, these guys play. Next hole, these guys play, and so forth. So check it out tonight if you got some time.
I will. I caught some highlights of it last week or whatever it was, but I think it's cool. I mean, with the everything technology-wise and e-gaming and all these different things, avenues of how to create content, how to bring a new look to the game of golf. I think it's cool. I think it's fun. I'm going to have to check it out tonight, Obes, and see what it really looks like just in terms of sitting down and enjoying it. But did you watch it at all last?
I watched the whole thing, and it was a tough start for it. Like, I love the stadium. I love the technology. I love all the numbers of their swing speed and launch angles, and I loved a little bit of the banter, but it was just tough group of guys. Like, Ricky Fowler didn't say anything. Alexander wasn't talking. It wasn't great banter.
It's got flow though. There's a shot clock.
Yeah.
There's a hammer where there's a little bit of double down. The green rotates. The holes on the screen look fucking futuristic. So like you're not seeing like a Pebble Beach hole. These holes are like someone thought of it in their fucking wildest dream type thing on the screen, right? So it's cool. It's got some sex appeal to it. But like Obi said, I think Swish, that they should have influencers involved with the pros. Like maybe, Swish, you're a +1 handicap. You got a podcast. You come in as like the weekly guest on one team, so your personality shines and it helps bring out maybe some sort of, they're looking for clips. They're looking for some bait, right? From TV bait. And they're trying to get it from these guys, but they're not used to it. They're not used to fucking, a camera being on them and an AirPod in their ear and them grinding over a putt. Like, that's not natural. We're a hockey guy or a guy that's fucking, involved in chirping his whole life. They're like, that's right up their alley. Like MJ would be sick. Like imagine Michael Jordan fucking chirping Tiger, like, you know what I mean? Like they should have MJ come on. Boom, that'd be sick. Right?
Chuck Barkley or some of these guys. That's a great idea, Ups. And a lot of those guys, the golf guys, are just too rich too. It's like you don't want to say anything. They don't want to step on any toes. But if you bring some guys that, like you said, some influencers,
That would be
even
great.
people in the golf community or ex-athletes, that's how you bring up the chirping level. Someone to get drunk in there. Come offside.
It'd be fun to go.
Flavor to it.
Jay Swish, but after we're done recording, look up the stadium, SoFi. What's it called? The SoFi Stadium there.
Yeah.
It'd be unbelievable to go in there with the boys, pump the tunes, get pinned, and play 15 holes on this fucking juiced up technical golf course. The setup is sick. There is some wrinkles in it, but hey, listen, anytime you get a chance to watch Tiger Woods hit the ball at Pebble Beach or into a big fucking screen, enjoy it, boys, because he's not getting any younger, although he is going to play on the Champions Tour next year, and that tournament out here, that pickup throws, is going to be insane. So that'll be great.
T Woods
next December,
City
50, he'll play in the whole Classic.
Unreal.
Yeah, that'll be sick. He'll move the needle on the Champions Tour. It'll be insane.
Yeah.
Like there'll be more people watching the Champions Tour
than the PGA.
Yeah. And you say what you want about
and
this.
he only has to play 3 rounds.
Yep. And he can ride a cart.
And he can ride a cart.
Yep.
Champions Tour is unreal too. 3 rounds.
Yeah.
5-hour Furyk out there. Bernard Langer. Like some of these. My favorite, Jimenez. Smoking the 3 aside.
The mechanic.
The stogies. Like
The mechanic.
The mechanic is unbelievable. He still uses those old school spikes, Obi, that are like 3 inches long. And that stretching routine he has before, it's unbelievable. It's poetry in motion.
It is
favorite, the mechanic.
It is poetry.
Jimenez.
There was a quote from him, like, I don't know, this is probably 10 years ago now. They said, how do you keep your game? How do you feel so young and keep your game? He said, fast cars and young women.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you play? How do you stay young?
He's got a stogie and he's doing the knees on that. Yeah. Sick.
What a beauty. So enjoy it. I can't wait to see Tiger. Before we head to break, boys, let's not forget the show presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updog, Jay Swish. The Missin Curfew.
Dog of the week.
Dog of the week, fellas. Listen, first of all, it's a 2-part dog of the week. Flyers fans loved you. I sometimes send this podcast and I chirp, Eagles fans and Phillies fans and Flyers fans sometimes. I would have loved to play for the Philadelphia Flyers, especially when you played with that all-beauty team, 7 tough guys, 20 coxmen. I would have loved to play on that team. Great fans. But going in there as an opponent, as we all know, it's awful.
100%.
It is awful.
They're mutants.
But I'll tell you what, Flyers fans, good on you. You guys are the Missin Curfew dog of the week because you made it as miserable as possible on this little rookie puke, Carter Gauthier. I don't know the kid. I'm sure he's a great kid. I didn't love the way he handled himself. I love living out here too. And, maybe if I was a first-round pick, who knows. But to play for the Philadelphia Flyers and that tradition of that city and that, to me, it never made sense why he left. And for him to come in there and them to absolutely let him have it before his first shift and let him have it the entire game. Up, dog, the Philadelphia Flyers fans are the Missin Curfew dog of the week, buddy, because those guys, that's what sports is all about.
Yeah, they're Swishy. They're not dumb, right? These fans are smart. These fans, when a kid like that comes in and doesn't give rhyme or reason why, and I think that's the big question. Like, we'll call it what it is. Jeff Carter gets traded from there. Richie, myself, there's a bunch of guys, like, you get traded from there, you come back, they appreciate what you did for the city, what you did for the team, what you did for the fans, all that stuff. when you're a young pick and you're BC kid, you're Swedish born but American, and you come in and it's like all the writing on the wall is for them to have this high pick, great kid, talented, come in and be a fucking young star for their team, and you give them no reason except I'm not playing for your squad. Like, not only the team and the city and the fans, but like the players, they're all like, fuck you. Mm-hmm. It's like something against our jersey and against our, and yeah, he's going to have to, there's going to be a long tenure time here where they're not going to forget.
They're never going to forget.
Players, not coaches, not fucking anybody in that building. Mm-hmm. I loved it. Fuck you, Cotter. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's what, when there's angry fans, it produces a better product on the ice. Swish, I don't know if you've ever witnessed that. I remember just fans fucking ripping guys, and it's awesome.
Yeah, 100%. And just going back to the organization of Philadelphia, obviously, Uppy, you spent a good amount of time there, and just the pride and everything that goes into that. It got lost a little bit in the shuffle when Ed Schneider ultimately passed away and the team was passed on. But, I mean, looking at what Cutter Gauthier and just I always thought that was a little disrespectful because, number one, I love the good scumbag fans of Philadelphia, and I say it with all due respect, but those people go in there and they are diehards for their teams. And just the tradition they have with Bobby Clark, Dave the Hammer Schultz, Machine Gun Kelly, even guys that are nail guns that played a little bit earlier than that, in Aaron Ashman. Some of these players that are just embodied what Philly meant to be and what it is as a city. It's a blue-collar town. It's in your face, smash mouth. So, if you don't want to play here and you come back to our city, well, yeah, we're going to let you have it. And I love that, Obes. So it's good to see that the Philly people they still get that grit. Just fuck you.
Yeah. I'm shocked that the kid wouldn't fucking want it. You just go experience it there. It's pretty amazing to play there.
Yeah, especially when you bring in a guy like Keith Jones.
It's
and
unbelievable.
And you have a GM like Danny Barrere. Now, John Tortorella might have spooked him.
Yeah, but
I like Torts has been unbelievable there. But when you have Keith Jones and Danny B calling the shots, and the tradition of the Flyers.
Like, a young kid should take pride in having a hard coach to start his career off.
Fuck yeah.
But you're playing in a great city. Odds are you don't get to ever play in a good city like that. Like an original team that has history, that has fans that care, that has a rink downtown in a real sports town. What if he goes his whole career playing in Anaheim and then Phoenix and fucking these shit towns? Yeah. It's whatever, good weather, you get the hair flowing, young kid like that.
Atmosphere.
Fucking atmosphere and having like tradition and showing up and fucking fighting for not just like your teammates, but like the pride of like the city and the team. You don't get that in every city. No. And he had it there.
And when you go in there as maybe he left there going, fuck, maybe I shouldn't have left here, because when you go in there as a visitor, and I just touched on it earlier, you're like, God, I would love to play for these guys. But going in there, you're like, look at these, look at you, bud. You're disgusting. Look at you, you slob. But they're all over you, and you guys had good teams, and they were tough. And listen, if you don't know what the Philadelphia Flyers are about, and obviously you listen to this podcast, you do. But you boys, I don't know if you've seen the HBO Broad Street Bullies. It's back in the day of the Philadelphia Flyers. And to sum up this team, their favorite bar burned down during the season, and for the rest of the season they wore a black armband around their jersey because their favorite bar burned down. Like that is a team that I'm like, if you can't get behind the fucking Philadelphia Flyers back in the day of Bobby Clark and boys like that. And fellas, when I played in Tampa, I was lucky enough to have Chief Bobby Taylor, who was the backup to all those Flyers teams and the team I'm talking about, and it was him and Phil Esposito actually at the front of the bird. But I'd go up and talk to Phil as much as I can, but I would just ask Chief about old Flyer stories. And this guy, like, he was great, good tan, good looking guy. And he would just talk about these teams. And I mean, that's the Philadelphia Flyers. The NHL is better when they're good. And the Broad Street Bullies, they translated hockey back then. And that's what the Philadelphia Flyers fans are. They want guys that play hard, hard hockey.
Yeah, Gretzky, you talk to all those guys. Those guys knew how to win. And you say they changed the face of hockey. Every person in Philly back in the day has stories and VHS tapes of old Flyer fight tapes and everything. I used to go to like Mel's house for Christmas, and her dad, Doug Collins, used to pull out these tapes. Yeah. And it's the raw footage of it all, right? Where you're like, this guy's probably at home taping it like this. And it would just be these fucking wars. And all the fans, wars in the crowd, and like,
Dude,
When the Russians came in too, and they beat the wheels off the Russians.
Broke that guy's ankle and they left.
Yeah.
The Russians are going home. They're leaving. And the guy I can't even remember who's doing the call of the game. But he's like, "Oh my God, I don't believe it. The Russians are leaving the ice. They've left the game." And to go back even one more switch before you jump in here is when I played in the jungle early in my career, they played at the Spectrum, the Philadelphia Phantoms. And I'm not lying. I walked in that building for the first time, and they had a tough team, the Phantoms too. Gratton and Riley Gauthier and the fucking list went on and on. But there was bloodstains on the wall. I'm not lying, Swish. This old Spectrum, you walked in there, you're just like, I tried to put myself back in the 70s of coming in here and trying to, like, you must have been like, what? No, get me out of here.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. They got the bloodstains in there in the old Spectrum.
On the wall.
Absurd.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But when you watch that documentary and Ed Schneider was talking about when he bought the team and even Fred Shiro, just the highlights of, they wanted to instill from the jump of what this hockey team and the brand and the culture was going to be, and it was going to embody the city. And that lasted for 40, 50 years. Now they, again, have gone off track a little bit in the last few years, but I think that's why you bring in a guy like Keith Jones. You have Torts there to instill that back into the team and to inject it into the city. I mean, again, just making this go full circle, it's like, I don't know how you would not want to play there. Philadelphia Flyers would be in my top at least 10 teams to play for, just a storied franchise. And like I said, I just thought it was, for better or worse, I thought it was a little disrespectful the way he handled that. And there's no explanation why he didn't want to go there, but to each their own. And you know what? Good luck, buddy.
I mean, I had a conversation with Mike Richards at the Roxy being like, "Richie, you think you can get me here?" He's like, "You want to play here?" I'm like, "Fuck, I'd love to play. I love to play for you boys, eh? You a guy?
No, you'd have been a perfect Flyer.
That way, I'm not the only one going out. There's 20 other guys coming with me here.
Yeah.
Right? This would be unbelievable.
You're like, your whole team's at my after party. Not one guy on my team's here. So I'd love to play in your squad.
I won't say the names, but there was guys when I woke up for practice the next day that were still at my house. And I was just like, "Hey, boys, make sure you lock up before you take off there." But Flyers fans, Uppy, I know they mean a lot to you and Loops and guys like that. Good on you. And last but not least, to tie in with the Missin Curfew Dog of the Week, we're going to get to Dakota Gauthier in a bit here, but Travis Konechny, he's also our Missin Curfew Dog of the Week. Just for this, I will fucking fight you, he told him. I will fucking fight you. And you talked about pride. Konechny's not a big guy. He's obviously not a fighter, but you talk about that pride of having the jersey. And Uppy, that's what I see in this kid. Like, he took it personal that, "Oh, you don't want to play here? Well, then fuck you, kid, because I will fight you if I have to."
Yeah, I look at that as like, you don't want to come play with me. You want to go play with like Zegras in fucking Anaheim. Like, but it's the same message. And unfortunately, this kid's going to have to live with this. And I know he bounced back. Gauthier had a good game in Carolina, scored an OT winner. But he hasn't, proven really anything yet. And the Philadelphia Flyers and their organization will never forget that, nor the fans. So I just say sack up every time you go in that building because you're going to have to fight eventually.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, lastly on the Flyers, what's that one story? You guys both know it. Where I think it was Berube, like they were fucking with a guy that was called up and they would go through like the Jersey
Flyers
hike to the Devils. Yeah. He's like, what would he say? Tell the story. What would he say?
No, they called this. They had a Finnish kid called up, and the guy so from New Jersey, you come over the Walt Whitman Bridge, and there'd always be the place to throw in the coins. And the guy's like, "Hey, now that you play for the Flyers, like you got called up, just when you go through, you don't have to put the coins in, just yell Flyers." And so the kid's he pulls up to the thing, and it's rush hour. It's 4:00 going to the game, and he's sitting there just causing a huge traffic jam, and he's like, "Flyers!" And then everyone's like waiting. They're like, "Flyers! Flyers! Flyers!" And he's not throwing any coins in, and everyone's honking at him and everything. And it's the joke. Ed Jovanovski tells the joke great. Fucking Flyers!
Fucking Flyers! Let's go open this gate. I gotta go.
It's great.
That is ice hockey. That's unbelievable. So good on the Flyers. The whole organization, they've been playing well too. They're hanging in there, but good on Konechny. Part of the Four Nations moving forward. DraftKings bets, baby. Presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Fellas, wild card weekend. I said on this very podcast last week, Jay Swish, with the Updog and Richie, and I said I'm going to take a Texans, Ravens, Bills moneyline parlay. That was plus 240. Well, that baby was a winner chicken dinner. Then it got real ugly for me after that. I took Eagles moneyline, and then I took the Bucks and the Vikings. So started off great. cooled off lately, but wild card weekend, I mean, if you like to get some skin in the game at DraftKings, it doesn't get much better than that up top.
I got to be honest. I got tricked out of the fucking at a Sunday's morning game. The Bills game started early, and it
10 a.m.
got me. Yeah. I wanted to bet the Bills big time. It was for me, it was my lock. My fucking lock of the week, and I didn't get it in. Although I had Izzy wear I got the the Labatt blue fucking onesie that our boy Jason sent me, which I love. It's full winter. One up. I can't wait to go to a Buffalo game with that beauty and wear that.
We're going next year, Chippewa Street. Here
but I jumped on. Listen, my horses, the Rams. I love Matt bet. Stafford.
Good bet.
I thought it's the makeup game.
So it didn't scare you. Sorry, it didn't scare you about having to evacuate LA and play in a neutral site, and their families were flown in. Like I guess the Rams did. Credit to the Rams organization, and they did an unbelievable job of getting everyone in there. But I just thought with a neutral site game, I was like, fucking,
I looked, I'm not no pro handicapper. I'm a little bit of a degenerate, but I
looked semi-pro.
I looked at the quarterbacks and I thought there's 100%, I would bet on Matt Stafford. And then I looked at just how they've been playing down the stretch. The Rams were hot and the Vikings really weren't. They got smoked. And then I just thought, everything happened in LA. It's been really, really shitty, but maybe that, maybe they gather around each other and play a little bit harder and have, that's called the sixth man on the field for them.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
But yeah, it was a great game. And then the Eagles, I mean, they got the job done. They didn't look too good, but now I mentioned this on the pod. Back October 24th, I put in a $250 bet on the Rams to make it to the Super Bowl at plus 14,000.
14,000
or
1,400.
1,400?
I don't know.
Yeah, 1,400.
14,000?
It's a lot. I took a picture of it. Let me see what it said.
Hey, real quick, you looked that up. You
Yeah.
talk about your Eagles, and I sent Flowers a text. I said, "I hate your coach, something else, but I'm taking the money line." And what a start! I mean, if you're Green Bay, special teams are important, and for the guy to come out and just take that licking fumble, right then I was like, "Ooh, you can't start like that on the road, right?
Oh,
in any sport, and especially going in there." The Rocky song was just playing. The guy fumbles it. It's like, oh my God, they're in.
I know the
they're
Packers stink. But so it was plus 4,000, 4,100.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
Yeah, you're in it to win it,
11
baby.
grand. Now I'm going to hammer the Eagles against the Rams, though. But although I think the Rams have something special. I think they do.
Well, I think the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, he's a little rusty after coming off the conky. I think their offense, I mean, A.J. Brown's sitting on the goddamn sideline reading the book. I don't know how I feel about that. He said it's for his mental toughness, but I don't know, Jay Swish. These receivers, that was him sending a message of throw me the nugget, right?
I mean, you're reading inner excellence, a couple passages,
Yeah.
sidelines.
like what?
Reading during a game, buddy. What are we doing? There's already iPads out there. There's too much technology. You're going back to an old school book as you're sitting on the sidelines. I just thought that was a little vanilla, but I had that game too. I actually had my Packers in that game. They got piss bound. I mean, J. Love didn't look perfect, but did you just know, boys, that the Rams, even despite it being a neutral site game, were going to win and get that done against the Vikings? I mean, it's always the same song and dance with this team in Minnesota, and especially how Darnold looked the previous week against Detroit. You just knew he looked a little shaky. And going to that game, I just think you end up betting on the quarterback that's been there, done that. Like Darnold next year, like Minnesota's probably not even going to re-sign this guy. This guy is going to end up in Believeland playing for the Browns. Like he's going to be at the Mistake on the Lake going 2-17 or whatever. He's just not a big time player. I just think he showed his true colors when it mattered most in week 19 and then into the playoffs, and you knew it was going to happen, right?
I'll tell you what, they had an unbelievable season. 3 weeks ago, they were in the Minnesota Vikings dressing room with him on his shoulders. The boys had him on their shoulders in the dressing room. To now, fast forward 3 weeks or 2 weeks, whatever you want to call it, like who knows if he even gets paid now? Like they got J.J. McCarthy there. I mean, this guy had an unbelievable season at 14-3, and we know things change quickly. Things change quickly in the NHL.
Yep.
I just think in the NFL, things change even quicker, right? Like, it's just like week to week. It's like game to game. This guy was, in the MVP talks to a certain extent, and then now all of a sudden, 2 bad games, you're out of the playoffs, your 14 wins don't matter. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this guy. Like, he must just be sitting at home right now in Mini being like, what just happened? I just had to roll by the balls, and in 2 weeks it's gone?
How much dough is he going to lose here, boys?
That might have cost him, like, they were going to give him like $250 million, like big boy money.
He's still going to get
Is
paid.
he on a 1-year deal?
Yeah, maybe.
Someone's going to give him.
Deal next year, though?
I don't know. It depends. Listen, this is just from listening to the boys on McAfee. They're talking like, because of the weak quarterback class, why would you not trade J.J. McCarthy, who was Michigan's quarterback, and re-sign Darnold, and you could get a lot for McCarthy because there's not many good quarterbacks coming out. So that's an option. But I do think he cost himself not just a couple bananas. I'm talking
big,
like a hundo maybe, like a lot. And like, yeah, he's probably sitting at home right now with like a little sore, being like,
Fucking tough.
give me that Amex
Redheaded
back.
stepson.
Give me that Amex back. God damn it. Yeah.
I wanted to thinking though. Do you want him if you're Minnesota and you're the general manager and you're KOC as the head coach, or do you want the younger guy to maybe prove what he can do as your first round pick? Like, I'm going to JJ.
Yeah, like for me, even in the hockey, like, you know, it's probably more in football, but like one good year, I'd like to see that backed up by another good year. Like before you give him, 5 years, like what the Bucks give Baker, they gave him $100 million or something, right? For
2 years back to back, though. I think he played, right?
Who? Baker played. We had one good year in Tampa, and then they gave him a contract extension, which paid off well for him. But Baker was maybe a little more proven than Sam Darnold. Like Sam Darnold was literally almost out of the league.
Yeah.
And then he was a backup, and then the Vikings, McCarthy got hurt, and I wouldn't be giving him the keys to Minneapolis. No, even before all this nonsense happened.
No, I'm definitely not giving him the keys to not only the St. Paul Inn, but anywhere in Minnesota, not the Mall of America, not the U.S. Bank Stadium.
Do you think
I would just like to see him back it up, maybe one more year, just like he was.
Is the St. Paul? Is you think it's still there? And if it's still there, have they given it a bit of
St. Paul Inn?
Is a facelift or St. Paul Hotel? They've had to give it a facelift. I mean, the goddamn headboards in there were from 19
That could be the worst hotel in the league, actually.
It's awful.
It's terrible. The walls are thin as fuck. And you know what it is when you leave your the deadbolt on and it slams, you can hear it the whole way through. Trotsy called up one night. We were all just pinned, and Mason answered the phone, and Trotsy called up, and we had all these adjoining rooms just open, and we're just fucking in robes, pounding beers, and Trotsy calls, and he's like, "Is anyone who's there?" And Mason's like, "Hello." And he's like, "Who's this?" He's like, "Barry Trotz." And he's like, "Who?" And he's like, "Put one of the players on." And Mason's like, "Excuse me, what type of player?" He's like, "One of the Preds." He's like, "There's no Predators in here, sir." And like Trotzy's fucking just lost his mind.
What a veteran player.
But you could hear it from probably floors above and below the deadbolts. I mean, it's just especially if you got one done, it's just everyone hears it.
Yeah, no, and they kept you. It was just too far to go into Minneapolis. I went into Minneapolis one night with, God rest his soul, Pavel Dimitra. Showed me an unbelievable night in Minneapolis. Him and Gabrick and me, and what a time it was. I mean, there was blondes everywhere. I was like, this is unreal. Why is the rink not here? Why are we not playing over here? Instead of
I love the barn. The barn's great.
One of my favorite
rinks.
rinks.
The stinkiest St. Paul hotel. It's just
you got to think they painted it or something. Right?
I'd rather stay in like a Hampton Inn there.
Yeah, continental breakfast, eh?
Yeah, just get the
get
fluff your pillow up. You want housekeeping?
Anyways, boys, it was a great wild card weekend. Always gamble responsibly. Continuing on with our DraftKings bets. My lock of the week this week was the Blues versus the Blue Jackets. So I watched the game. Pretty good hockey game. I'm going to get to the Blue Jackets in our Get This Guy Labatt Blue. Listen, St. Louis looks great to me right now. Their back end looks very, very deep. And Cam Fowler has been rejuvenated. And Jay Swish, you're a puck-moving defenseman that could skate and make plays. If you're a young defenseman and you're watching the NHL, watch how Cam Fowler is so good at using the net. The way this guy uses the net, it's a lost art in the NHL. A lot of guys don't do it. And when I first got in the league, and Jay Swish, you probably agree, a lot of coaches right away is like, that net is your best friend as a defenseman. Like that is, you use that to dictate where up he's going to forecheck and where this guy's going to go. And I've watched Cam play 3 or 4 games now since he got to St. Louis, and the way he's using that net right now is it's a weapon for him, Jay Swish. Yeah,
and one guy that always used to tell me, and I used to work with him, used to work with my agency, was Adam Foote, coaching with Talks right now in Vancouver. He'd always tell me, and I didn't learn it until about my 4th or 5th year in the league, that's probably why I wasn't playing as much or didn't play at all, is when you round that net, Obes, you want to get inside the dot to give yourself an option not only to the wall, but to the middle of the ice. And that's one thing when you watch Cam Fowler play, when he does round that net, he doesn't get wide with his turn. He comes right, he peels around that post, and he presents options not only to the middle of the ice, but also to go to the wall so he can shimmy shake you either way. It just gives him more options. His head's always up. So if you're a young defenseman watching him play, and a lot of the good skating defensemen, they always come in through the middle of the dots or inside the dot, hugging that post. It just gives you way more availability to make plays and use your feet.
Yeah, that's well said, and that's textbook. And what Cam's doing right now, I mean, look at this back end right now. Fowler, Parenko, Broberg, who's a young Victor Hedman, Falk, who looks like your brother, Ryan Suter, and Tyler Tucker. And we got on the IR, we got Krug and Nick Leddy. Krug's done for the year. Is Leddy done for the year too? Because that guy's a nice little puck-moving demon.
He can skate, boy. That's a good,
That's a good back end right there. Like this Tyler Tucker kid's a right-handed D-man that plays hard. He'll chuck him a little bit. Binner's kicking. And then up front, I mean, Hollywood Holloway, that guy, I mean, he's proven me wrong. Cairo's playing better. Bobby Thomas is playing better. You got Schenner down the pipe. Sundqvist, fast guy. Like, to me, I like their team, and obviously we're talking DraftKings, baby. Right now in DraftKings Sportsbook, the St. Louis Blues are plus 900 to make the playoffs. To me, that's a good value bet right now. It's not going to be easy. What do we say they are, boys? 4 or 5 points out right now. Vancouver's ahead of them. Colorado's ahead of them. It's going to be tough to get in the West, but with that back end up, dog, I'm putting a little money at plus 900 on the St. Louis Blues to get in the dance.
Colorado's 9 points up on them, Obes, which is tricky. And
that's the first wild card spot, right?
Yeah, and then you got Calgary and you got Canucks, who are, respectively 4 and 5 points ahead of them.
Yeah, so are you thinking they're too far back? Or?
Not. They are of Colorado because Colorado's going to heat up. Dallas.
Colorado's not going to be a wild card team, though, are they? They're going to fucking catch Mini, aren't they? Right?
Yeah, Mini's got
58 points.
14. Yeah. Okay.
So they're 14 points ahead of St. Louis right this second.
Yeah, that second wild card spot's gonna be a dogfight, right? You got Calgary, they'll put a solid bit. Vancouver, okay. St. Louis, even throw Utah in the mix with getting a couple guys back there. But I don't know. I think it was gonna have to come down to Binner absolutely kicking and kind of getting that team into the dance, which we've seen before. So, if they go in a little bit of a heater, Obes, you never know. They win 6, 7, 8 in a row. All of a sudden, fella, okay, now we're treading pretty good and we're heading north. But I don't know. I think it's, for me, if I'm looking at them right now, they're on the outside looking in, just be honest.
5-4-1 their last 10. That's not going to get it done. But to me, I don't know. Watching them play the other night, and we're going to get to Columbus as well. They just good depth, good 4 lines coming at you, 6 good D, good goaltenders.
I guess what you're saying here is if they don't get in the dance, look for their value on games where they're playing good teams because they can compete. They've got a great back end. So you probably find some sneaky lines.
So I'm going to say the Pacific's going to end up Vegas, Edmonton, Vancouver is going to climb their way back into the Pacific, and the Kings are going to fall into a wild card spot. And the Avalanche are going to climb their way back in the Central, and the Wild are going to fall down to a wild card spot. And then the Blues are going to get it. And then the Blues are going to get. That's a lot of what ifs. Hey, talking like a real gambler, that's a lot of what ifs.
Think Calgary's done?
I want Calgary to make it, but
yeah.
I mean, you got to think eventually, but they're not going anywhere. We're 42 games in. We know. I mean, right now you're sitting in that Calgary dressing room. You're like, we're as good as any other of these teams that are Vancouver, St. Louis, the hockey club. Why not us?
That's with a couple of games in hand too. I mean, they're right there.
It just goes back to Swiss to show you how hard it is to get in the playoffs, man. It's hard to get in. It's so hard to get in, but
a lot of good teams out there. One kid on that Calgary team we've talked about him before on the show is that Martin Prospo.
Yeah,
he's just dirty. Did you see that hit the other night on Taylor Hall when he just put his chin on the glass, hit him a little bit from behind, and he got the boot. He got a 5-minute in the game, but he's one of those guys that he's like one of those guys that's just unpredictable, and you need a few of those guys on your team because you never know when they're going to hit you in a bad spot or just different things, especially when they're forechecking you. It keeps you honest out there, Obes.
It does. I watch a lot of Flames games because my boy Weegsy, baby. I like watching them play. They're playing well. They're competing. They've put Craig Conroy in a position though where he's like, "What are you boys doing to me here?" Right? Fuck, I'm trying to rebuild, and now you're making the playoffs on me. Like, what's going on here? So, DraftKings, baby, get some skin in the game. Always gamble responsibly here, boys. Get this guy a Labatt Blue, presented by Labatt Blue Light, the pristine Pilsner. Enjoy your beers together so we can live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. Boys, this was last week. It's Sam Carrick. The Rangers are playing a little bit better of late, by the way. They're in tough tonight against Vegas, I believe. Or no, they played Vegas the other night. They're in tough tonight against the Avalanche, I believe. But Rangers are playing better. And this is a shout out to Peter Laviolette, too. Sam Carrick, fourth line center, was playing good all night. Game must shift in overtime, as we know, as a 5'6" and a fourth liner at times. You don't get much ice time in overtime. Laviolette rewards them. Booyah, backdoor goal, 2-on-1, Sam Carrick, OT winner against New Jersey Devils. Get yourself with the bat blue. But up dog, good for Peter Laviolette to reward this guy and get him some OT. If the guy's going, get him out there.
I love it, Obes. Yeah. I love it. I love it so much because it's in 3-on-3. Anything can happen, and why not put a guy out there who's feeling it? And the message is, my top guys probably aren't their best tonight, so why give them the opportunity to shine? I don't know. I've always been a big fan of that. I think it's a great move by coaches. The GM might think otherwise, or, maybe the fans who want to see like the top players score a goal, but I think it's fucking great. And I'd tip my cap to Lavi for that.
Yeah, and that's how you get everyone believing in that dressing room, too. And their superstars, as we all know, we don't have to beat a dead horse, have been fucking terrible all year. Why not give Sam Carrick some
little message like that goes a long, long, long way.
Yeah. You want to dish one to your former teammates?
I do. A former teammate, this guy is a great card player. He always had a Wall Street Journal fucking crossword puzzle, finished fucking front to back, this guy. One of my greatest lines I played on was him and Jeff Carter. But Mike Knuble, the only player in NHL history, fellas, to play with both the great one, Gretzky, and now the Russian assassin, Ovechkin. But he played with Gretz in 98 to 2000 with the Rangers and in the Capitals just after I left Philly. He left and went to the Caps. But pretty big feat, and I can't believe there's only one guy.
Yeah, that's great, right? If you're Knuble, you're just like, I play with both these guys. That's
it.
And Mike Knuble was just an old school pro to play against him, right? He had that old
great
school
guy. Loved him.
I know you and Loops loved him, so good on him.
He was a good guy. Congrats, bud.
Get this guy Labatt Blue. This whole squad, the Columbus Blue Jackets. I've watched them play a couple times in the last couple of weeks. I was checking the standings a couple weeks ago and seeing them. They were playing well, and as of today, right now as we're recording, they are the second wildcard team in the Eastern Conference. We all know what happened with Johnny Hockey and his brother Matty. It was awful and Updog and Swishy. I said at the start of the season, I hope this team rallies around one of the biggest tragedies in our game, and I think they have. They're playing well. They're coached well by your boy Dean Evison. So the whole Columbus Blue Jackets team, organization, get yourself a blue light, boys, and keep it rolling. And last but not least for me, once again, another team. We talked about Todd McClellan coming in, playing that boring kind of, 1-3-1. And I said to Richie and the boys, I said, is there any way you can find a happy medium? I haven't watched Detroit play. I'm going to watch them play tonight. They got Man Jose coming in. They're 7-1 under Todd McClellan, up dog. And this is just a point of when you have tons of skill and you bring in a coach that I can only imagine because I haven't watched him a lot, but brings in structure and skill is how you win the NHL, and they're 7-1. So get those boys Labatt Blue.
Yeah, they got Ville Husso starting tonight, Obes, and just a little bit about Todd McClellan. My last training camp in Edmonton, I was really looking forward to playing for this guy, man. His years in San Jose before, I watched him coach in the minors against me. A well-respected guy. I always looked at those San Jose teams as a team that played the right way with a mix of great players and depth guys. But you always knew they had good coaching. So this guy, I remember it was not too long ago you're watching Stevie Y give these press conference where he's basically asking, what would you fucking guys do? I don't have the answers. I've tried everything. I pressed the right buttons. What do you fucking guys do? All these pigeon fucking media people that we'll get to. But this is a case of what you just said, man. A guy that has coached great teams. He's now got an original 6 team that needs a little spark, and he's brought it. But 7-1 under him and 2 points back at the final playoff spot in the East is impressive.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Don't look now, but 2 points out of a wild card spot there. And Patrick Kane, boys, under Toddy McClellan. I mean, I was a little disappointed or just kind of chirping him in terms of the hiring. And boy, was I wrong. I was talking about just the 1-3-1. Do we really need that system back into hockey? And you know what? He shoved it right up my hoop this far. So, Patty Kane, though, 8 games under McClellan, 5 goals, 13 points, +5, leading the NHL in points since then. Boys, it is showtime back in Detroit. So, clearly, that has ignited Patty Kane. I don't know what they've done different. I don't know what conversations they've had, but showtime in Detroit is back. And anytime 88 has that jersey flapping in the wind, he's dancing on the wall. He's dancing in front of the net. I just love it. It's great for hockey. And you know what? As an American born, he's always been my favorite and always will be.
Yeah, that's well said. And, you don't want to handcuff your skilled guys, but up dog, more than anyone, like you need structure to win. Like, we had great players in Vancouver, the Sedins, but we had structure. In Tampa, when I went there, we had Vinny, Marty, Brad Richards, Dan Boyle, but we had structure. Nashville, we had structure. Like you don't want to tell guys they can't go that way because you need offensive ability, and the Detroit Red Wings have tons of that. But you need, like I watched the Red Wings play earlier in the year, and I'm like, this team has zero chance of fucking winning because they had zero structure. And I'm not putting that all on the ex-head coach. But to me, Todd's come in here and said, hey, this is how we're going to play. And obviously the message is getting received right now.
Yeah, and with any coach or any team, structure is one thing, but a coach has like its timeline. And sometimes no matter what, if it's structure or star players or luck, your timeline is going to run out. Someone needs a new voice. This is just the perfect storm. The Red Wings, all the hype around them, Stevie Y is now probably his 5th, 6th, 7th year. I'm not sure, but it's in that sort of realm. Something needs to happen. Patty Kane being there. I just like it. It'd be great if the Wings were able to sneak in there, boys, and we got to see a little of like old school Detroit back in the playoffs. It's good for hockey.
Yeah, the league's better when Detroit's good too. You say that about Philly, and this is why I'm not a big interim head coach guy either. If you're going to fire someone, go out and get your guy and bring him in. St. Louis did it with Monty. Stevie Y did it with Todd. Like, no disrespect to Joe Sacco again. The Bruins are hanging tough, but like you fired Jim Montgomery to give Joe Sacco the interim head coach. Like, if you're going to fire this guy, the Boston Bruins have tons of money. Go out and get somebody else. Like, I just love that Stevie went out, got Todd, and they're playing well. So get those beers in you, boys. Keep them ice cold. It is milk carton time here at Missin Curfew. Updog, Jay Swish, Evander Kane. He's going to have knee surgery. He's recovering from a abdominal recovery. So we're going to keep Evander Kane on the milk carton. The reason I wanted to talk to you, and I'll be with you because you bleed blue and orange, I would keep Evander Kane on IR till game 1 of the Western Conference quarterfinals. I would say you're not playing. We're going to use your money for salary cap. We saw it with Tampa. We saw it with Vegas. Call it cheating. Call it whatever you want. This team has the best player on the fucking planet who's absolutely flying right now, and so is 29. I watched him play last night. My God. I'd say Evander, do us a favor and just get ready for playoffs. And I think he's a pro. He's been in the league long enough. It's not going to be easy, but I think Evander Kane could come back for game 1 and still be an impact for them.
Yeah, I'd say it's called strategy more than anything. I think this is kind of writing on the wall. Like, I've had abdominal surgeries. You come back, it could be a long one, 10 to 12 weeks, maybe 3 months for a real bad one. It's at that point now. It's like, okay, we can't fit you back in this lineup right now because of cap issues. We want to have the space. What else is going on in your body? You need a little knee scope. Let's get that done.
Get it all done.
I just think it's great. Evander Kane's a pro. He's going to come back. He's going to skate. They'll push him to play hard. He'll practice with these guys when he can. And whether it takes him 3-4 games to get back into, fuck you, Evander Kane mode, which I'm sure he can get up to speed playing with Worm and fucking going out there and doing his thing. It's the long run here. This isn't a sprint to get him back. This is now how to be the best team possible once playoff time starts, because fucking Connor and Leon got to get a chance to get back to the dance. And I just think that this puts them at the best opportunity to do that. And I'm sure our boy Bob Stauffer would probably say the same thing.
Bobby Stoff's always looking mint. The old Johnny Cash special, black on black, walking out of the bird. But yeah, I'm with you guys. I think you keep them right on the IR. I think, honestly, Ups, so I wanted to get your take on this. What are they going to do on that back end, though? Are they going to go acquire a guy? Can they go get a number 4 defenseman? Could you get a number 5, someone that's a little bit bigger on that third pair that can kind of mix in between a 4 and a 5, play good on the penalty kill, block shots, maybe play tougher, a little sandpaper? They do have my boy Troy Stetcher there, but I do think they need a little bit more size, especially on that right side. And is there someone they can go get? Are they eyeing down someone? I know we've talked about it in the past, but I just think as we come up to February and into March, that's something they're going to need going into this stretch run.
100%. And I got to give Troy Stetcher credit. He gets it done. I mean, he can make a play. He's got good patience. He uses the size that he does have. Emerson kid's he's coming along. He's getting better. I watched him play last night. Bouchard actually played a good game last night. Darnell Nurse. I mean, the left side of their back end is ready to go. You go Ekholm, Kulak, and Nurse. That is as good as left side as you can, especially Nurse in the third pair. And you talk about size, they need it. Now, Josh Brown played last night for them at just 7D. I'm not saying he's the answer, but at least they have him in their back pocket. But for me, I couldn't agree more with you, Jay Swish. They need 2 guys on the right side. 1 for sure, but if they can get 2, For me, it's Long Island, Scott Mayfield and that Pollock kid. If they could somehow get those two right-handed Ds out of Long Island and bring them into Edmonton, I think that would help Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl get what they want. But they need to make a move.
What about Savard, righty from Montreal? His name's been thrown around. Klingberg coming back from, I don't think Klingberg's the answer, but he's coming back from hip surgery. There's a lot of talk about him.
They're going to do something.
There's got to do something.
Yeah.
You guys hear me harp on this, the Oilers D. It's the biggest thing that I think about, when you think about Edmonton, is how to get another stay-at-home D so Ekholm isn't completely fucking blown out by the time playoffs get going, right? Like, he's the only guy that is,
Kulak's playing unbelievable for him.
I know, but like, fucking A, man.
Yeah, no.
If they had a good righty like Ekholm, boom.
Yeah. And listen, I watched the Oilers play the Kings last night, and listen, the Kings are an offensive juggernaut. I mean, I think they those nerdy analytics, they're like, they should have the most goals in the NHL. Well, they don't. But to me, the way Edmonton played last night, it looked like they were like they learned from the success they had in playoffs last year. Like, they did a pretty good job of the neutral zone and playing and slowing them down, and they looked like a team to me. I was like, wow, that's a good defensive team right there. So we'll see what happens, but I would tell Evander Kane, stay on that milk carton. I would let him maybe rehab down in like Florida or something, though. I wouldn't make him stay in Edmonton and rehab all year. Like, I'd be like, yeah,
totally.
Go to Florida, get healthy, come back in like March 1st. Come back March 1st. Stay out of trouble, though, eh? Stay out of trouble.
You said stay out of trouble. I said, fuck, good luck.
Yeah.
But just keep him out of Vegas. When he's got the big bricks of cash and he's sitting on the top of the Trump building or whatever, and he's just holding it up like he's talking through the speakerphone on the podcast. Just keep him out of Vegas. He'll be all right.
So let's say they can go out and get another guy. What's Vander Kane making right now? They're up against the cap anyways, right?
He's making 5, I think.
So let's say you threw Kane in this lineup right now. So you could go, right now they go Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Hyman, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Arvidsson. So you would go Kane, Draisaitl, Arvidsson, Podkolzin, Henrik, Brown, Janmark, Perry, Kapanen. Is there 4 lines, man? Like that, their forwards are as good as anyone.
Deadline cap space, $1 million.
Yeah. They can't even do anything with them on long-term IR.
Projected cap space, $230K. That's not much.
So they can't even do anything. So he has to stay on there. And they can't even really go, I don't know what they're going to do. There's ways around that. There's smarter guys than us that know ways around that when it comes to cap. But I would be telling Evander Kane to stay on that milk carton. Speaking of the milk carton, boys, this guy's going on the milk carton. He plays his guts out. He's undersized. And it's not from a lack of effort, but Niels Höglander has gone 39 games. He hasn't scored a goal since October 19th. He's played every night pretty much. He plays a regular shift. Fella, you're on the fucking milk carton. 39 games without a goal as a forward is hard to do. He competes. He gets going. He plays hard. I'm hoping this Missin Curfew milk carton will get him going uppy. But fucking 39 games is a long time without getting one.
Yeah. It just made me think, like, looking back, like, was there ever a time where you just were so snake bit and
my whole career?
But what was that like to be like showing up to the rink every day and your coach just looks at you and says, like, I would try to trade you right now if I could. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know.
But
if I watch the Canucks more than you guys do, like,
just go to the fucking net.
If we had Talks on here right now, Talks would probably say, hey, he's playing better than, he deserves some. But like you said, you told Connor Brown last year, go to the fucking net.
Yeah.
This guy's undersized, though. At least Brown has got some size.
Yeah,
it's hard for this whole laner to get to the net.
Is he playing 12, or what is he playing, 8 minutes a night? Because if he's not, there's a way to play responsibly, but then to also be involved in things that happen at the fucking net in the ozone.
Right now, he's playing with Miller and Garland on the second line.
So this is unacceptable. I wouldn't even go, as a fourth line guy, I wouldn't go 30 games without scoring a goal.
No, but you get to the net.
Yeah, go to the net. Fucking cause a little havoc. Shoot the puck. Shoot first. And then tell your guys, like, hey, tonight I'm going to be fucking going. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Get to the net, Swish.
No, but it's a joke. 38 games? Yeah, this might help him, though. Milk carton time. Sorry, Swish.
He's playing about 11:35, boys, this year.
That's it. I thought he was playing more than that. Wow, really?
I'm looking at his last 5 games. I bet it's 9, 12, 12, 12. So
yep.
It's hard to get something done in those minutes, as you know.
That's third line, right?
That's modern day third line, I bet. Yeah, because he's fucking. I bet you Miller's playing 21.
I mean, this kid had 24 goals.
So he's getting shuffled around. Yeah, he had a great year last year. Got a nice 3-year deal. So he's averaging 12 minutes a night. That's third line, right? What's fourth line get? 8?
Yeah, third line's fourth line. The one plug on the fourth line gets about 8.
But what does a good fourth line get? 10?
He's getting 12. If you're playing PK, you get 12 minutes.
Oh,
A good fourth is 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, so he's
Yeah, if
fourth
you're a
line.
centerman, you probably get 14 minutes because you go out there for those draws.
So he's playing fourth liner minutes. Well, then we can't expect too much out of him.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Fucking right. Embrace the fourth line, Nils. Is that his name, Nils?
Niels Hoglander.
Yeah, Hoagie. Get out there and throw your Hogue around and just fucking get to the net.
You think one would hit him in the ass and go in or something, right? Get to I'll tell you what, Hoglander, when Quinn Hughes is walking the line for a minute and a half, just get.
Yeah, see,
Get there.
there's
Get
another
there.
big reason.
Get there.
Is he getting out there with Quinn Hughes? Because if he is, there's no excuse.
If you haven't watched Quinn Hughes play hockey lately, do yourself a favor and tune onto the fucking Canucks game. This guy has got it on a string, and he does whatever he wants with it. Like, it's Cale Makar and him. It's sick. You should see
Beautiful.
this kid.
I know. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I love watching him play.
And
I
he's
love
been
the
a little-
Hughes brothers.
And he's been a little banged up, but he's back. And
he fucked his hand up, right? I just love watching those Hughes brothers play hockey. Even you know what? I wanted to tell you this. I don't think I got to it earlier, but when I went to the Jersey game, the young fucking Hughes kid had a goal and
Hughes.
played the best fucking hockey game, I bet you, of his career.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Skating around with the puck, blocking guys, doing the 10 and 2, and I'm like,
tough style, though.
yeah, but whatever.
But he's good.
Out of all his brothers, he's the toughest style.
Yeah.
But he's also the big
Jack's
one.
got great style. Quinn's got great style.
I just think it's they're freaks on the ice. It's good
No,
watch.
you're talking about super sperm from their old man there. He's got super sperm. I mean, like, that is just 3.
Jimmy.
That's how you 3 just solid loads right there, eh, Swish? How's his retirement, Pat? I just get to play golf with his 3 sons that play in the NHL. I'd sign up for that. I'd have kids if they guarantee they're going to play in the NHL.
Yeah.
Play golf with them in the off season, watch them snap it around. That's not bad. Last but not least, on the milk carton here, I told you we get back to Carter Gauthier. We're back. This is for our boy Lupul, former Flyer, fucking Flyers, and Larry Flowers, who fucking couldn't play for the Junior Flyers, but was a fan. Loops wants us to throw Carter Gauthier on the milk carton for not fighting Konechny in the game. Loops, there you are, fella. He's on the milk carton. I'm with Loops and Flowers. I would love to have seen Carter Gauthier drop his gloves and just start chucking. Now, he played at Boston College. Am I right, Swish?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's probably never been in a fight. He probably thought, it's going so bad already. They're down 6-0. He's been booed out of the building. He thought, if I get knocked out cold here too, this would really be icing on the cake. But Updog, what do you think? Do you think Gauthier should have stepped up and fought him there? Because Loops was fired up about it.
Yeah, I do. And if it was a tight game, I'd say maybe lay off it until next time you get the opportunity. But that was your time
Just
to
do
go.
it. Just go.
Did anyone tell him, like, did Gudis maybe grab him and say, hey, by the way, like, you should, well, I'm going to fight now because we're down 6-0, and then you should fucking fight too.
That's when Ryan Getzlav needs to be around. I mean, Ryan Getzlav would have
he would have fought.
Konechny.
Yeah,
And he would have
100%.
told Gauthier going in what to expect and be like, listen, kid, I would recommend you.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak for Getz, but I think I know him pretty well that I would recommend, hey, kid, maybe you want to do something at the start here.
Yeah.
You know, whoever you think on that lineup that you think you could handle, if it is Konechny, who's only, 5'8", I would get it out of the way right away.
Yeah.
And maybe the week before, help him in practice. Hey, this is how here, come here, kid. This is, if you get in trouble, go here, go there. I don't know Gudis. I don't think that probably happened, but Getzy would have had some advice.
Getzey was not going into Philly getting beat 6-0 without throwing some fucking knuckles, especially when his young kid on his team's getting booed like that. He's grabbing, he's grabbing fucking one of those boys and saying, let's do
anybody.
it old school right now.
Yeah,
but to back to that, yeah, I think Loops makes a great point. You're down 6-0. This is your time to step up. You could have stepped up and got it out of the way, and Philly fans would still be all over you, but they'd respect you a little more.
Big time. And before I turn it over to you, Swish, Getzey would have grabbed Sean Couturier, Owen Tippett, Bobby Brink, Scott Lawton.
He grabbed anybody.
He would have grabbed anybody. Signheim on the back end, Ristolainen.
Except Delorier.
He wouldn't have grabbed Nick Seeler. Or he wouldn't have grabbed him.
No.
I hope not anyways. But.
Yeah.
No, Getzey, that's what made Getzey, we used to have a saying, we'll fight our way out of the barn. If we're going to lose, we'll fight our way out of the barn. And that was Ryan Getzlav. But for you, American-born player, what'd you think of the Gauthier thing? Would you think he should have stepped up there and chucked him?
Yeah, whether it's Konechny or Farabee or, you can find a guy, Bobby Brink. I don't know if Bobby Brink's going to probably throw down with them, but you'd like to think if you're Carter Gauthier and you're 6'2", 200-odd pounds, you can kind of just stand back there in the pocket and just make sure you don't get knocked out. Now, listen, he's probably a kid that's never been in a fight before. Obes, he's a product of the U.S. national program and then into BC where you wear the bird cage for 2 odd years. So he's probably never been in a fight. He's probably just thinking, maybe I'm too good to fight, but he will learn, I think, as he goes. And And who knows, whether it's Gudis telling him or even Getsy popping down there and, the old Orange County, stopping by the Honda Center or the new practice rink there, just saying, hey, fella, like, maybe next time, maybe you got to do something to answer the bell. This is kind of how we like to, instill our culture around here too. So, yeah, I don't know. I think you like to think, especially just how everything went down there, he could have maybe found a guy just to do just to do the right thing.
And Uppy makes a great point. Konechny's right there. And if I was to tell this Gauthier, like, that's the time, just drop your stuff and grab it. I mean, chances are one of you going to fall or you're both going to fall. The linesman's going to get in. Like, you're not going to get hurt, kid. Just get in there and fucking throw.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're fighting, Nick the Hammer Schultz. Konechny,
No, he will eventually fight Konechny. There's no question about it now.
Yeah.
Konechny's not going to ever forget that he turned him turned him
true.
down.
He's just going to run his show his entire career
for the whole time until you fight him, because he's smaller than you and he's better than you. So you got to just step up. You know.
Game's changed up, dog.
Yeah.
Game's changed.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Loops, flowers. There you go, boys. That's milk cart material for you fellas. It's rumor mill time here at Missin Curfew. This one hits close to home. My boy, the Fact Daddy O'Reilly. Elliot Friedman on Hockey Night in Canada reported that the Predators are to treat Ryan O'Reilly as if he has a no-trade protection. So listen, I respect that. So Trotsy's saying, listen, just because we didn't give you one, we respect that you've won a Stanley Cup, a Conn Smythe. You had a great year for us last year. I'm saying there's no way I'm trading Ryan O'Reilly. Now, Trotsy, I get it. You finally got to the ownership and you said, can I spend some money? And you spent like a drunken sailor, and you brought in Stammer, and you brought in Marchessault, and you brought in Brady Shea, and you gave Suros, that's how you say their goalie's name, right? His contract, and things aren't going well. Well, I would not say, like Sean O'Donnell told me when I played, don't make one mistake and then run at a position to make another mistake. If you make a mistake in the NHL as a defenseman, just relax, read the play, and don't chase, and you could make up for it. You don't want to trade Ryan O'Reilly. Listen, you got Stammer for 4 more years. Get through this year. Yeah, it's been a shit show. Nobody's happy with where you guys are in the standings. Everyone's always pulling for Barry Trotz and Nashville Predators, but do not trade Ryan O'Reilly. Get through this year. Let's have an off season, bring the band back, and see what you envision, Trotsy, if you can actually do it. For me to trade him is a desperate, stinky move, and I don't think it will help the Predators get to where they want to go. I don't care how many young pieces you get for the Fact Daddy.
What if he's getting – I'll just touch on this first, Schmaltzy. What if he's getting calls on the Fact Daddy? Like, so now you got to, exercise the fact that your team sucks. You do have a piece as an asset that has 2 more years left. This isn't just a rental. This is a guy you're getting to change your whole locker room. This is a team calling, going, we're good right now. We didn't think we're good, but fuck, I could get a Ryan O'Reilly. What do you need? I got lots of draft picks. I got a good young player, but I need this guy to come in and help this culture because it's not working in Nashville. And Johnny Marchessault's another guy. They're going to get calls on him too. A playoff performer, a guy that just hasn't really worked out, but he's only got a couple years, right?
I mean, they just got there.
I know, but they're
the
fucking not working. It's not working.
I would say if you're calling about Ryan O'Reilly, I'd say you got the wrong fucking number. Or I could say, listen, you could have Nyquist. What do you want for Nyquist? I mean, or you can have anyone else.
I think the Blues should bring him back.
You can't have Forsberg, Stamkos, Marchessault, O'Reilly. You can have anybody else you want on the whole fucking twat. And you can't have Roman Josi.
Don't you think if you're a guy like Joe Sakic and you're hearing these rumors,
Oh,
you're maybe giving Barry Trotz a call and slotting Ryan O'Reilly in at $4.5 million on a bargain deal as is? I mean, the Factor's got 25 points this year in 39 games.
You just got Obi's ears perked up. He wants him traded now.
If you could get Fact Daddy to the Abs,
just fucking perked his ears up. I can see his boner from here. I can see it. It's poking through the tights.
Tight jeans. If you could get Fact Daddy to the Mile High City to play on that squad, I love that. And listen, I got money on the Avs to win the Stanley Cup. If Joe Sakic can get Ryan O'Reilly,
His whole mode just changed.
Yeah, I would
100%.
Listen, I would be calling about Ryan O'Reilly. I'm taking the coat hanger, putting it back in. I'm Trotsy. I'm not trading Ryan O'Reilly. I'm just taking a breather, being like, okay, it hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just all chill. Still got the second half of the season. Let's see how we can do, and let's come back and run it back. And then next year, if we're sitting here, if we can still afford to keep the lights on, if we're sitting here and they're in the same position, then I would trade Ryan O'Reilly at the trade deadline. But I wouldn't give up on it right now, Trotsy. Not yet.
I just think if you're Barry Trotz and you're maybe in that zone of we're not a contender right now, Ryan O'Reilly is probably the player you're going to get the most value on if you're just named the guys you just named, right? 2 years left on his deal, Stanley Cup champion, can play anywhere from first to third line as a centerman, winner, Conn Smythe, Showtime in every sense of the word. I just think, man, if I hear that news, my ears are perking up at the Mile High City, and I'm Chris McFarland, and I'm Joe Sakic. I'm anyone on that team. I'm like, fuck, go get
Hum
that
them.
guy.
That's exactly
Go get-
the Avs need the fact daddy. And then imagine Landy came back. Oh, boys, fucking see you in Denver for the final.
But what it does do, this whole thing is showing respect to Fact Daddy. It's respect
I
to
need a
Fact
lip
Daddy
groomer. I'm stressed.
with the no trade protection that he doesn't have.
How does he not have that?
But it's also getting guys like Sakic, like to Schmaltzy's point, perked up,
How did Pat
getting their blood flow going, sitting at the round table at these scouting meetings going, fuck, you know what Trotzy just fucking put out there? That the Fact Daddy's available. What do we got? What could we send? And then then it creates a little bit of a buzz without giving the Fact Daddy like, fuck, you're out of here. This is like, hey, listen, we're just going to take calls because we suck. So,
Hey, listen, we suck.
Well, no, just as in a respectful way. We're not having a great year. Playoffs are non-existent this year. I'm listening to everything, but we're treating you like a no trade protection just to get
Yeah, listen, I think every team that's in the mix would love a Ryan O'Reilly, right? If you're heading into the playoffs, and if you're trying to get the most assets, he's probably the guy, right? No one's probably taking Stammer with 3 more years at 8. Marchessault, same thing. Brady Shea, Nyquist maybe, but he's not going to get what Factor gets. I get that. Can you not just chalk it up to a tough season and just regroup and not do something that you brought Ryan O'Reilly in there to change the culture. He did that last year. You brought in 3 big time UFAs, and shit's not going great. Is that the answer to just to get rid of Ryan O'Reilly right now? Like, I just don't know if that's a message I'd want to send to Stammer and Marchessault and these guys that just came here to try to win one. Like, that's why he went and got Stammer and Marchessault to win a Stanley Cup, right?
Would you trade Fact Daddy for Lehkonen? No.
Fuck, now you're really getting close to home here, fella. Lehkonen, I wouldn't trade. Fuck.
Huh? Because that's what they would ask.
No, but I would trade Casey Middlestat for fucking Ryan O'Reilly yesterday.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to do the trick, is it? I guess he's not making as much. I don't know.
Middlestat and a couple picks,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and then you could give him on the back end. You could throw in that
Manson?
Sam Malinsky. No, Manson's not going anywhere.
A little righty.
Yeah, Sam Malinsky could throw in there. I'll give you Middlestaff and Malinsky and a first rounder for O'Reilly. Would he get a first rounder too, or is that too much?
I mean, I would want that first rounder coming back if I'm Nashville for sure.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to trade O'Reilly and you're going to mortgage your present right now and you want something back for the future, you want at least a pick.
Yeah, but it's all about what the market is telling you, right? So maybe if they do want to move him, maybe that first round pick isn't the rabbit that's being hung out there.
So I'm just saying, is this a full rebuild then, Trotzy? Like, if it's not a full, why are you getting rid of Factor if you got 2 years left and, do you think, what do you
Maybe they want to get faster.
Well,
maybe they need some speed,
Well, then you got to get rid of Stammer and Marchessault too, because they're slow. I mean, Trotzy, you can't just go out and sign everyone and then fucking 6 months later be like, okay, who wants them all?
Yeah.
I love Barry Trotz. He's one of my favorite coaches. He's a great human being. To me, this would be a rookie GM getting kind of, I don't know.
Getting bent over.
Just relax, Trotz. You're not getting fired. No one's going anywhere. Just take a breather. But if the Avs call, trade him to the Avs, eh? Trade him to the Avs. Hey, say switch.
Where it all started.
The People's Insiders. Hey, the People's Insider. You know what's up, baby.
Oh, I would love him there. He would win too, and you'd see that just grizzled beard hoisting the mug. I think it's a no-brainer. Joe Sakic, he's calling. He's checking in, just seeing what the price is right now, and just kind of monitor it going into the trade deadline. For sure, he's checking in with Barry Trotz.
I love the fact that, to answer your question, if I was a GM, I would never trade Ryan O'Reilly. Trotzy, look what happened to Buffalo when they traded Ryan O'Reilly. You don't trade Ryan O'Reilly unless he wants to get traded. And unless you can go the Avalanche. But boys, presented by Kits Eye Care. You've seen us and the fellas rocking them. Now it's time to get yourself into the game. Go to kits.com and grab a pair of progressive glasses starting at just $78, fellas. Use the code curfew to grab your pair today. You'll thank us later.
They look good, bud.
Yeah, I like them.
I will add, too, for the people out there, they are traded on the TSE, the Toronto Stock Exchange, as Kits Eye Care Limited.
Yeah.
And a nice stock, nice performing stock for you boys that like to, I'm not going to give investment advice around here because I'd have you in crypto, and that's not so perfect right now. But Kits Eye Care Limited, fellas, check it out.
Yeah, well done there. And listen, Roger Hardy, he knows what he's doing. The stock's been buzzing.
I think it's the top performing Canadian consumer brand stock of 2024.
Yeah. So
heads up.
So if you got some, Canadian money lying
Does
around,
anyone have any extra cheddar?
I got some Canadian cheddar up there. It ain't worth anything down here. Maybe I should invest in Rogers and Kits, but Rogers down in Schlinel Bay, so life must be good for Rogers. So I would have listened to his stock advice, and Rogers obviously a big fan of that one. So Updog, Swish, the Kits Eye Care Dish of the Week, friend of the podcast, Drake Batherson, coming down the wing, kind of like off balance a little bit, still throws a juicy little sauce pass. Updog, as they say in the NHL, can't give a good player a bad pass. Norris going to the back post, boom, knocks it out of the air, puts it in. That's NHL league goal. Great vision by Batherson. Get that boy some Kits Eyewear. That's the dish of the week.
How are you? And I think we will. Bathy will listen to this. We'll send him some Kits Eye Care. Maybe he needs a couple readers or maybe some sunnies.
Or just maybe if you need a pair.
Whatever you need.
If you're
I wish I had eyes like that.
If you just want to go out and change up your look, hey, got a couple pairs of fucking Kits Eyewear. Put them on. Hey, babe, how you doing? What's going on? Let me take my glasses off here. How are you? How you doing there? What's your name? Hey, how are you there, baby?
Hey, those prescription? Oh, no, baby. Those reading glasses.
Yeah, those reading glasses, baby. Sticking with Kits, the referee. You know how I like to get on the refs up, dog. Last thing here at Missin Curfew this week. The refs last night, I watched the Oilers Kings game. This guy could use a pair of Kits Eyewear because he missed a slew foot on Kempe, who I love. Great style, Swedish-born player, good flow, great player. Slew foot's 97, badly. Arse over tea kettles could have been real bad. I'm all for playing superstars hard and fucking finishing checks on them. There's no room in the game for slew foots. It's fucking dirty. And for four of the guys out there, because the Lionies can call them too, right? To miss them, go on Kits Eye Care, promo code Curfew, get yourself some fucking glasses because you can't be missing shit like that up.
Yeah, the refs missed it, but our boy Gauthier and the NHL did not, and Kempe was fined the maximum amount.
Oh, they fined him?
Yeah, it just came out.
So Getzey's got Kits Eyewear.
He's got Kits, definitely.
Yeah, see, Getzey's got Kits Eyewear. Find him, eh?
Yeah, they fined him the max amount for the Slewfoot on...
Slewfoot's dirty.
McDavid.
Slewfoot's dirty.
You don't be fucking Slewfoot my McDavid on his birthday, okay?
Yeah, he could have hit his head. He could have fucking landed on his shoulder. It was dirty.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Good on the NHL. Boys, we got lots left. We'll take care of it Thursday. Jay Swish, love having you back, buddy. Good to see you. Updog, always a pleasure.
Fellas.
No ice pick. Kyle Conway, great job back there. Hall Pass Media. That was Missin Curfew.
Fellas.